I think so. We'll start with the big one that people will probably be quite familiar with, and that is the whole thing of shoulder impingement. Now, this is quite brought up quite a lot when it comes to the upright row, as me and Tom mentioned at the start, and the behind the neck shoulder press. So I'll read out what the NHS, so the National Health Service here in the UK, classes as shoulder impingement. So it's a very common cause of shoulder pain where a tendon, band of tissue, inside your shoulder rubs or catches on nearby tissue and bone as you lift your arm. So as you can see there, as Tom said, from a mechanical point of view, as you lift your arm. So
everything gets squished.
So you can see the link there, what people are making. So it doesn't sound great at all. This is basically why movements like the upright row do get attacked. I want to make a point, sort of a note here almost, because people can like straw man it. Is if you have already got shoulder pain, or you've had a history of shoulder pain, doing things like the upright row could potentially cause you discomfort. But then you could literally say that you could say about anything. It could be provocative.
About any exercise.
It's about any exercise. If you've got a previous injury somewhere, or you are currently got pain somewhere, the chance of if you're doing a movement which uses the muscles around it, you're going to feel some pain. So don't.
Let's also consider the psychosocial aspects.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
If you do a movement that you're expecting to hurt, you've already changed your perception to that exercise. You're now adding a lot of noise for your alarm system, aka pain, to go off of.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what? When we had the No Bullshit Physio on the podcast, there was a study he mentioned, and it's been stuck in my head since. But it was the Christmas song by Bing Crosby. It was a study. It was a study involving the Christmas song by Bing Crosby, where they told people,
"Oh yeah, I remember now.
You're going to go into a sound room, and we're going to play. Is it White Christmas?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
We're going to play White Christmas through the headset. You press the button whenever you hear the song playing through the white noise, through the static." And loads of people were like hitting the button left, right, and centre, but never once did they play the song. They never actually played it. But because people were expecting it, it changed their perception, and they was expecting to hear it. So things like the upright row, the human mind is a very, very strange thing. It's a very strange thing. Yeah. We're not saying that you're not finding it painful, because if you find something painful, the upright road, and you're finding it painful, and no one can tell you otherwise. Pain is a very subjective experience, personalised to you. However, what might not help is that someone is kind of
got sort of
making
steering
you
on.
expect pain.
Yeah, they've given that nocemic narrative. For example, I've got another one here, Tom, which I read, and I'll read it out again. This is quite interesting. So I think it's actually on My Protein, the actual website. Fucking classic. So they said, the concern of the upright row is that it closes or reduces the distance of the acromyoclavicular joint, where the tendon of the supraspinatus muscle passes. I think I said that right. Reduction of this joint space, as associated with the upright barbell row, can result in a pinching of this tendon, resulting in pain, irritation, and inflammation. So basically what they're trying to say is that by reducing the space within the joint, we're causing rotator cuff damage, and that's what leads to pain, weakness, all those buzzwords. But the problem is that actually the case? Well, according to the evidence, no. I think Tommy actually shared one to do with that earlier. So I'll read out this paper here. So we've got a systematic review and meta-analysis from Parker et al. 2020, and it found that the size of the space, so that whole fucking thing he was talking about there, about reducing the space you do like an upright row, is not any difference in those with or without shoulder pain, and that increasing the size of this space has no correlation with improvements in shoulder pain or function towards pain.
There's actually the argument being made that we should just get rid of the term shoulder impingement. That it's not very helpful.
Tom, I can also look at some data here in regards to the acromenial shape. And now this is obviously an audio podcast, so I can't actually show you pictures of stuff, but what we've got is we've got three general shapes. I don't know if Tom's got something he can show us. Basically, one's flat, one's curved, and one's hooked. Has you got that? Have you got one?
Fucking hell. Keep talking while I try and find something.
Try and find it, yeah. So, as I said, one's flat, one's curved, one hooked. And if you were to look at them, hopefully Tom will show it for our Twitch users, but if you looked at the hooked one, you would basically sort of assume that would cause more things like shoulder impingement because of the fact that it's hooked right over and it's going to be closer. But once again, the data does not show that there's any difference between any three of them in terms of occurrence of shoulder impingement.
Which is problematic as well, because there's a lot of surgeries that go on in regards to reducing that bony spur, so to speak.
Did you see the papers on that though, about the surgery, how it's all just bullshit? Like, didn't they do placebo surgery? It did nothing. Did you see them papers?
Do you know what, that still shocks me that there's such a thing as placebo surgery.
I was like, I had to read it, I was like, what's going on here? This is mental.
They actually put people under sleep. They fuck off for a Costa coffee, come back, by the time the person's wake up they go, yeah, we've just performed surgery on you. Oh, really? I feel so much better. It's like, it's absolutely insane that that's even a thing. However, it's fascinating because once again, we're changing people's perceptions.
Yeah.
You know,
And I think both these papers, I think there was 2 papers on the surgery thing, showed that surgery had no impact on their levels of like pain and stuff when it comes to things like shoulder impingement, which is worrying that people are still being pushed for surgery when it seems to be not the case that it's actually doing anything, which is quite worrying. Not from a health standpoint, but from a financial standpoint as well, isn't it? It's not cheap, is it, surgery? So
yeah, and it doesn't actually solve the problem. And sometimes you can't even properly solve the problem. I mean, it's quite unrealistic to be pain-free. You know, I think it's more realistic to kind of expect pain. We're always going to have pain. You know, oh god, I sound really fucking gothic now. But you know, we're going to have painful experiences. I think it's more realistic to set our expectations of how much pain we have the capacity to deal with and building that capacity. Yeah,
cool.
Which is one of the reasons why I actually do upright rows. I do it because I want to build that tolerance and capacity so that I was, without naming names, they are a podcast listener, but they hurt their shoulder the other day by washing their hair.
Oh, really? Wow.
And I think they said something like they threw a towel over their shoulder or something along
Wasn't
those
Fern,
lines.
It's always fucking Fern.
No, it wasn't Fern. No? I know for a fact Fern doesn't wash her hair.
Patiently await her response.
A comment now. No, I'm only joking, Fern. I'm seeing her tomorrow, so I've got to behave myself, actually. But yeah, there you go. Yeah. But no, like I want to build my tolerance, and that's why I do movements like upright rows, is because I want to get used to these movements. I want to build a capacity, you know. So if I have to throw a rock at someone, you know, I'm not going to go, oh, that was painful.
Back to upright row, Tom. We've got more data, mate. There's data absolutely flying about it. So this is why it pisses me off that there's still this negative narrative towards this movement. So if we've also got something about, it's about if you lift your arms past 90 degrees, like you don't want to go further because you'll get issues again. But we've actually got data, which is just mind blowing. It shows that if this was a thing, we'd be worried about shoulder impingement at 40 degrees. It shows that the whole mechanical stuff they're talking about that happens would happen at 40 degrees. So if the people who are saying there's something wrong with shoulder impingement, you shouldn't be lifting your arms at all, basically. Stop lifting your arms.
The message I kind of got over the years was that originally we shouldn't do upright rows at all.
Mm-hmm.
And then it should be, we should only do it to bang on 90 degrees. Anything above that is a danger zone. Obviously, I've evolved well beyond that now. And then you've got everything that's kind of about internal rotation. Like, don't worry.
That happens at 40 degrees. They're literally up to 40. Like, if you can't help that, we move our arms also. So if I'm literally just doing that, okay, brilliant. I've got shoulder impingement now, have I? Just by like literally lifting my arms. I don't. Yeah. It's ridiculous, isn't it? Like,
we're not saying that you can't get hurt.
No, of course, yeah. You still can get hurt.
You know, but it's not the inherent movement itself. Pain and injury can be caused by all sorts, as we said.